If I traded it all.
Welcome to the show, everyone. And as all of you know, I made it possible for everybody to talk about themselves on the radio. So if you want to get yourself heard on the show, just call us here at the station, get connected with me, and we'll get you on Networking Arizona. The number is 602-277-5369. Check me out. It's networkingarizona.net. Okay, I'm going to go right away with my first guest, and I'm really excited about bringing him on. First of all, it's a great time to have him on because it's the summertime is upon us. Everybody's going to be going swimming. So listen up. I have with me Ray Smith. He's the owner of CPR Rescuers. Welcome to the show. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and obviously what you do.
Well, we founded this company in 1993. I used to be in law enforcement in Chicago. Moved out here to search out my wonderful wife, who actually helped me start this company. She was with me for 20 years as we began this. We had two incidences in our home where we actually had to do the CPR, which we thought we'd never have to do, even though we worked in hospitals for a long, long time. That taught us the value of actually learning CPR properly, and that's why we decided to start this company, which is now in Illinois, Wisconsin, as well as Arizona. I also have a pulmonary consulting firm, and I'm a fast food nutritionist, and I know that's kind of an oxymoron, but we'll just let that slide.
Wow, awesome. Now, I want to talk a little bit about you. Obviously, we know CPR is important, but especially now, there are so many. I think I just heard of something, and I think it was dry. It's
a dry drowning.
Right. And so, why is CPR so important for everybody to know?
We take more time in watching television a day, 5 to 6 hours as an adult, over 10 hours as children. Innocuous things will actually get us nowhere in life, and yet we won't take a 2-hour interval in our lifespan, or at least our lifetime, to learn a CPR skill to save a family member. 4% of America has been trained in CPR, leaving 96% at a loss if something happens. And there are a lot of misnomers out there. There is no governing agency for CPR. There are a lot of agencies that we associate with: the American Heart Association, the National Safety Council, the American Safety and Health Institute, and the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. They give us guidelines on how to teach properly. Now, there are online CPR courses, but quite frankly, I'm going to tell you that is CPR at minimum wage. You need to be in front of an instructor to really show you what you're doing. In our company, we've had scores of lives saved in the last few years the way we teach. Now, we do teach with humor. We teach from a medical perspective, but I guarantee you when you walk away, you're going to know what you're doing.
Now, you are going to offer for everyone to get entered in to win a 2-hour class of their choice. And you can do either 1 to 5 people, up to 5 people, and this is a $225 value, free to you. So I'm going to open up the lines to the audience, and everyone can call in and get it. Maybe it's you, maybe you know someone that would maybe this would be good for. Hey, anybody out there that has kids that babysit, for sure, grandparents that are taking care of kids. I mean, everybody, obviously, but our number here, just give us a call. You're going to get entered in to win, and I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You want to check them out. It's CPRRescuers.com. You can also call them direct. The number is 602-339-3397. Okay, and why don't people do this?
Well, it's a good question. Of the 4% of the folks who've actually taken a CPR course, 80% are female. Men have a tendency not to do this because you won't believe this, but we're totally different human beings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's true. We conquer, you nurture. And I think that nurturing capability of a woman's nature to want to protect and to take care of and those types of things, we're more on the conquer it, move on to the next thing. So I don't think men actually want to take this course. Well, they may see a need down the road if something happens.
Well, something comes to my mind, because CPR isn't just for somebody drowning. There could be many other things, right?
Oh, of course.
That's why, your classes, you say that you have different classes?
Not only do we teach CPR, first aid, AED, we teach bloodborne pathogens. As a fast food nutritionist, and once again, people always blanch at that, I'm very interested in nutrition. A good heart. I'm getting ready to turn this wonderful 7th decade of my life, 70 years old. I can't believe it's 70 years old. But still, I'm fairly good shape. I take care of myself. I know the need to proper nutrition. But, we can all eat properly, but what if something happens to a family member? Since 75% of the time, CPR is performed on a family member. I want to dispel a myth, too. Hands-only CPR. We hear it all the time. I would encourage you to take a CPR course where you learn not only to do the hands-only, but the breathing as well. Hands-only is for a person who's never been trained before as we wait for help to arrive.
Wow. Again, there's a lot of good reasons, and I think that people should look into it. And especially maybe you live with somebody that's older, you're taking care of a parent or whatever. There's a lot of those people that are listening here. And again, we believe that everybody should be looking into this and having the class. It's a 2-hour class that everyone's getting entered into, and I'm going to talk a little bit about them. But you can call here at 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. That's a $225 value, free to you or anyone you know. Check them out at CPRRescuers.com. Okay, let's talk about the classes a little bit more. So you said that they can go online and choose them. Why would someone want one over another? There must be good reasons for it.
One company over another or one course over another?
One course over the other.
Well, I think we all need a basic understanding of first aid. CPR is a small component of first aid. First aid is pretty much common sense. But if I asked you, how many minutes of oxygen is in your cardiovascular system at any given time? Give me an answer.
I couldn't tell.
Oh, of course you can't. But if I asked you a question about an actor or an actress or a sports figure, often we come up with the name with no problem at all. You only have 8 to 10 minutes of oxygen in your cardiovascular system at any given time. You're 5 minutes away from death at any given time. That's why it's important, if there is an emergency situation, do something. But in reality, if you're not trained, you'll do nothing. And that is the problem in our company, trying to get enough people to understand the importance of learning how to save a life.
So when you do these classes, how are they done? Where are they done?
We can actually come to you if you're an organization, if you're a group. We teach at churches, organizations, companies, nursing facilities, hospitals. Just simply call us. We can also do classes for families. If there are 5 or more people, we'll come to you. There's something more, though. If there's a pregnancy in your family, on Sunday afternoons we do free classes for anyone who is having a baby and their families.
Oh, that's really neat. Also, though, too, you said that, if you come in and you bring a husband or a spouse, that's free. And children, too? Am I correct?
Children over 9.
Over 9, okay.
Our youngest lifesaver is 9. Recently we had, and I won't mention any names because that's not right, but we had a 14-year-old Eagle Scout save his mother. We had taught him 3 times. When you meet a family like that, and the hero, and courage comes from fear, and this young man certainly overcame his fear to become courageous. Every one of us needs to do these things. We need to be prepared for these situations. We have car insurance, we have hospitalization insurance, all of that is needed.
Right now, too, very big for everybody that they want to be prepared for disaster. Mm-hmm. Disaster preparedness is really big right now. And I mean, if you were doing something like that and you do this giveaway, the lines are on fire for that. This goes along with all of that.
Absolutely.
So again, you can check them out. It's CPRRescuers.com. You can call them direct. It's 602-339-3397. We've got our lines open here. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, I want to talk further about some of the different, classes that you offer and what you do. Again, you can call in here, get entered into win. This is a 2-hour class. It's up to 5 people, so it's 1 to 5 people. And again, I believe that everyone should be doing this. I mean, even me, I'm included. And my daughters have been, so hey, why not, shouldn't I too, right? So give us a call here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. We're going to go to a break. You guys, it's pool time. We know that's a big time when it all happens. I don't know whether you do animals too, but sometimes the animals fall in too.
We actually do pet CPR also.
Oh, you see? So there you go. I read his mind. So give us a call here at the station. Get entered into win. It's a 2-hour class, and it's a $225 value, free to you. 602-277-5369. It's CPRRescuers.com. Welcome back. We're talking talking with Ray Smith, and he's the owner of CPR Rescuers. And you've been doing this, you've had your business open since when?
1993.
1993. And they really, you can do it with one person, up to 5. You can even do, they'll do groups as well.
Our largest group has been 300.
Wow.
And we have a one-on-one mannequin ratio. Everything you're going to hear from us is the latest information, the scientific latest information, the 2010 guidelines. And that's why we like people to take a full CPR course as opposed to just doing an online course. Once again, an online course is not going to show you the things that you're really going to need should a family member need you. Another thing I have found out in our careers, do you really know the signs and symptoms of a heart attack? Because they're totally different for a woman than a man, because once again, we conquer, you nurture. You could be tired for a month or two and just attribute that to overworking or doing what women typically often do. Their work is never done. Isn't that true?
That is true.
I understand that concept.
Absolutely.
Mine's always done.
Well, but there you go. So you're bringing that up. So, and I have to ask this: if somebody was having a heart attack, can you help them through CPR?
CPR doesn't have anything to do with a heart attack. A heart attack is a failure of a vessel in the heart or whatever caused it. In that case, it's a 911 call. A cardiac arrest, where the cessation of the heart beating, that's very serious. Now, they have defibrillators. A defibrillator really only has one function, and as to stop an aberrant rhythm. The heart can start itself. Heart cannot stop itself if it gets into a rhythm that's not conducive to life-threatening rhythm. And that's why we have to be trained in CPR.
All right, so let's give people some other things that, obviously, if they were choking on something, right?
Chew your food. We have a tendency not to do that. And when a person's choking, when's the last time you really heard of the Heimlich maneuver? Well, we've all heard of the Heimlich maneuver. Dr. Heimlich, unfortunately, recently passed at age 97. But do you really know how to do the obstructed airway maneuver? So few people don't. And how do you learn that? In a CPR course.
And you said that you also do it for animals as well.
Yeah, I knew you were going to bring that up too. Yes, we do teach pets CPR because many people have dogs, cats, those types of, and they love them. Now, I'm not going to teach you CPR on a fish or a parakeet. They're doomed. But for the most part, domestic pet, we can certainly show you what to do. People love their animals. Matter of fact, we should also love our families as much as we love our animals. And how would that transpire? Take a CPR course.
Right, and more people should be doing it. We have our pools. Everybody, the kids are going to be in the pools. That's a big time this year. I'm surprised we haven't. I don't know how many. Usually we hear them pretty early.
We have already had some.
We have.
Yeah, we have. And in the states that we're involved in. And once again, it's planning these things, planning what's going to happen. We plan our vacations, we plan our futures, but do we really plan what happens in an emergency situation? No, many of us don't.
Well, this is their offering for everyone to get entered in to win. It's a 2-hour class. It's up to 5 people that you can bring, and it's a $225 value, free to you or anyone you know. I believe that everybody should do this. I agree with you, especially if we have young ones around us, especially those even the grandparents that are taking care of kids, and especially for anyone, even for our animals. I know it's important. So the number to call here, our number is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You could check them out at CPRrescuers.com, and you can also call them direct. Write the number down. It's a good idea to have it. 602-339-3397. What else should we talk about with this? I mean, the classes that you offer, let's talk about them.
Yeah, there are many misconceptions about CPR. One of the big things about CPR is that people have a fear of the unknown. Well, how would you get more confidence? Well, we all have careers. We study. We're intrinsic learners. We have a passion. We learn that for the rest of our life. Extrinsic learners are mainly when we are forced to do something. Taking CPR, you're going to find, especially with our company, is a fun thing to do. We give you not only humor with our teaching skills, we also give you the confidence to walk away that you're going to be able to do it on a family member. And by the way, we also do something a little bit different. After you take your initial course with us, you can take as many free courses with us for the next 2 years to enhance your skills. Already it's happened once again, as I mentioned, twice in my family. To lose a family member because you didn't take the time to learn something that's very basic will stay with you the rest of your life. So I just encourage people to do it. It is not a hard skill to learn. The hardest thing I ever had to learn was to have enough confidence to meet the opposite sex and talk without twisting my words, all right? CPR is a lot easier than that.
So again, you can check them out at CPRrescuers.com. You can also call them. Their number is 602-339-3397. And again, we've got our lines open here. Call us at 602-277-5369. Get entered in to win a 2-hour class. It's a $225 value, free to you, and you can bring up to 5 people with you. Okay, so some of these things that I'm seeing here on these the questions that get asked, and one of them is, should I stop compressions if the victim's gasping?
No, not actually. That's often just a normal reflex. When a person goes unconscious, the lack of oxygen going to the brain is ceased. So that's why compressions come in, and they're very, very important to move that little bit of blood you're going to move. Often it's not more than 25%. This is not something you're going to do very long. It is a stopgap as they're waiting for the advanced folks to arrive. Over 88% of the people who have a cardiac arrest die before they get to the hospital. It's this early intervention that's so important. We must remove the stigma of learning CPR. It's a very simple skill to learn and to maintain, as we would with, once again, our house insurance, our car insurance, the warranties on things. What about a warranty on our life that we can enhance?
Absolutely. I have some of these others here. I can't even believe that's here, though. But you say people ask you these. Does somebody have to remove someone's clothes when they're doing this?
During hands-only CPR, if you're the lay public and performing it, no. But if you're going to apply a defibrillator, the pads have to adhere to the chest to read if there is an aberrant rhythm. Might be a good idea to do that. Otherwise, these pads are not going to adhere. During the emergency situation, I've been in many of them, life and death situations. That's the least of your worries. It's more important. Let's see what we can do to save this human being.
And how much time do they have? You know, like you said, I think you said before, you only have, 8? You're almost
You have about
5?
8 to 10 minutes of oxygen in your cardiovascular system at any given time. With the cessation of a heartbeat, after 5 minutes, the situation is pretty dire. That's why it's that early intervention, doing something. It's better to do something as opposed to nothing. But with all these folks who have never been trained, it's amazing that we don't take the time to learn this.
Here's a good one. What if they have a pacemaker? And a lot of people that are listening, they probably do.
They'll often have a pacemaker or an internal defibrillator device, which are often placed in the same person. Well, they're dead if you don't do CPR. So I wouldn't even consider it. I would just go right on into the CPR.
Okay. And how about, let me find another one that's pretty interesting here. Okay. What happens if someone had underwent heart surgery?
Well, if it's a recent heart surgery where we have the staples in the sternum, so would you choose not to do it and let them die because they just had surgery, or would you choose to try to save their life? Many of these things are just common sense when you really sit there and think about it.
I think people would they get panicky.
I would get panicky too if I didn't know what I was doing. And remember, we have to be trained in things. First time you drove a car, not that easy. Well, it's the same thing with anything. We train. We become more proficient at it, our chosen profession. Before I started this company, I wasn't proficient at this. I see the value of it now, and so I want everyone to do it.
Now, I want to talk again about, you said that once they've taken your class, then for 2 years they can come back
as many free classes as they wish.
Wow.
Yeah.
And does that mean with the same group, with the same people, or what does that mean?
Well, gee, Carol, why don't we invite the whole state?
Well, why don't we? I'm doing that right now, aren't I?
Anyone who have taken it can come back.
So we have our lines open here for everyone to call in and get entered in to win. This is a 2-hour class, and you can bring up to 5 people to it. So our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Hey, for the people that are listening right now, what would be the number one tip that you could give everyone out there that you maybe start people off with because they're driving it right now, and that maybe that we could help save a life right now by telling everybody the best tip you can give them?
Stay healthy. Watch your cholesterol. Watch the food that you put in your body.
I'm out.
As a fast food nutritionist, I would tell you there are many good restaurants to eat out there. There are many poor restaurants. A lot of things in life are a choice. So this is the choice I'm going to give you. Is your family worth saving? If so, why don't you sign up for a CPR course? If not with us, there are many great organizations out there. Why don't you do it?
Well, you've been around since, you said, 1995, I think it
93,
was.
but I've been around a lot longer than that.
1993 with this class or the school. Would you call it a school?
Well, we are going to come to you. We're going to come to your organization, your home, regardless of what the group is.
Right.
Our goal is to teach as many people as we can in the time that we have left.
And the number one thing that makes you different than any of the others?
We know what we're doing.
The number to call them direct, it's 602-339-3397. You can check them out. It is CPRRescuers.com. We've got our lines open here, and I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show, and you're getting entered in to win a 2-hour class with up to 5 people. It's a $225 value, free to you. 602-277-5369.